Hello and welcome to something a little bit different on the Dreams of Wings channel. There's no Spitfires, there's no Mustangs, there's no T6 Harvards. We're going to do something a little bit different. I was lucky enough to meet a chap called Toby on the A2A multiplayer group flights who told me about his virtual airline, which is Andras Meridian, and I signed up for it because I wanted to have something a little bit different in my simming, have an additional thing that I could do with it, just to spice things up a bit. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a flight for Andras Meridian, an air taxi flight from here in Southampton over to Cardiff in Wales. Now you might already be in a VA, or you might be considering getting into VAs. It's completely new to me. It's well worth a look at, and what I'm going to do now is go through a little bit about Andras Meridian and also how we set up a flight. Okay, so first of all, let me show you the website for Andras Meridian Airlines. This is the website. I'm just going to let these pictures cycle. See if I can do it for you, just to give you an idea of the kind of aircraft that they're operating. Some fantastic liveries. These really are great liveries. The repainters are, well, just fantastic. So you can get an idea of the sort of work that they do. Absolutely beautiful. So on the website, quite simple. Introductions about Andras Meridian. The thing that I love about Andras Meridian is I've never really been interested in virtual airlines. I've never really been interested in flying big tube liners, really because I just don't have the time on a flight to do that. My sim time, I rarely get a chance to have the time to prep a flight like that and then to fly 3 or 4 hours to somewhere, which is one of the reasons I like GA and Warbirds. The thing that I love about Andras Meridian is that I can fly my GA and still have that that kind of immersion of flying for a virtual airline. And they're great people as well, great fun. They kind of take it seriously, but not too seriously, if you know what I mean. They're just out to have a great time flying in the sim with some immersion and some reality as well. So yeah, this is what it's all about. At the moment there's 26 pilots, 62,838 flight routes, 2,088 airports, and 135 airplanes in fleet. And these are actually airplanes that the company has kind of invested in, the company owns, which again adds to the realism because these are specific aircraft. For example, Coma, the one that you saw just before, that's the one at the moment that I'm flying and that I love to fly. The next one for me will be the Bonanza, but I'm really very happy taking the Comanche up, doing some nice air taxi routes, making some money for the airline, not a huge amount, and really I should be putting some more time into it, and once I finish doing the Silver Spitfire route I will. But it's just a great way of adding to what you do in the sim. I remember seeing a post where someone was saying that they kind of lost for ideas, or they didn't feel they were getting anything out of the simming. And this is one of those things that you can do in addition to other activities, whether it's VAT-Sim or anything like that. This is just another thing you can do. And with Andras Meridian, you have to start off at the bottom. You have to start off, I'll show you over here in the air taxi fleet. and you build up your hours, and eventually you can get access to other aircraft. Next after air taxi is the charter fleet. Beechcraft Duke there, lovely aircraft, and the Beaver. There's the Duke, gorgeous. And then you have the commuter fleet, and this is probably about as far as I will ever go, really. I've got the Caravan, I've got the Dornier, I've got the DC3, and yeah, Twin Otter, I've got that as well. That's probably where I'll stop. That's about as big and as airliney as I would want to get at this stage. However, after that, you can move on to the jets. The Dash 8, I've got the Dash 8. I've never really flown it. You know, that's something that I need to at some point have a look at. And once you've moved out of the where are we now? This is the regional fleet. You go into the international fleet, then you start getting into the bigger boys. The Constellation, I've got that. I've made one video on that. Beautiful aircraft. You see we're getting, look at this, these repaints are absolutely fantastic. Quality is amazing. And then we've got the intercontinental fleet, and then you're getting into the big guys, the 747s. So you can see there's a huge mix there. There's a huge, broad mix of aircraft that you can get into, and that's what I love about it. I can sit right down at the bottom with the air taxi fleet, flying around in my props, and making a bit of money, having some challenge of a different kind of flying. It's a bit more disciplined kind of flying, and it's great. Love it. As far as routes goes on the website, if you take a look, I don't know if it's going to work there. It's working for me there. You can type in your. Let's start with the hub. These are the hubs. So my hub is Cardiff because I'm based in the UK. But you start with your hub, and then you've got all these different routes. So you would type your hub in there. Let's type in Cardiff. And there we go. So the route we're going to do today is Southampton to Cardiff. The way it works is your aircraft is where you left it. So the last time I flew G-Coma was God, I think it was a couple of months ago. That's terrible. And I left her in Southampton, having flown from, I think it was Guernsey. So I'm going to take her back to the main hub, Cardiff, so that she can see home again. Just a nice little flight. But that's how you can get an idea of all the different routes that are available there. Anything else? There's all sorts of stats here, live flights and that kind of thing. I don't think any of the guys are on at the moment by the looks of it. Lots of information there. Tutorials, fantastic stuff here. For me, the DH6 startup, when I get into that, this is really useful stuff. Looking forward to that. Makes life very easy. Nice little article on VFR navigation, really well written. Really just breaking it down to what it is. Some great advice, really useful stuff. And then over here you've got the forum repaints and VA financial, which I'm not going to show thinking about it because that's probably not quite right, because you have to be a member to see that. Yeah, the PIREP tool, we're going to move on to that. That is over here. Now this is what we use to log the information and to book the flight, and this is the snitch, as it were. This is what's plugging into the sim, and is going to report back on how the flight goes, and also the details of the flight. I will show you my logbook. For some reason I've got 2 entries in at the beginning. I think they're just kind of example entries that don't seem to count, but this is where I started off. I haven't done a great deal. I think I've got to get to about 12 hours before I'm out of the kind of probationary kind of period, but as you can see, I've just been hopping backwards and forwards, having some fun. The flight number kind of tells you as a pilot, when you're looking for a flight, it tells you what you have available to you. Yeah, when was it? Good God, yeah, July, 20th of July. That's very bad, very bad. I need to be doing this more often. Okay, right. I'm not used to recording in desktop mode, so you're going to have to bear with me while I swap a few things around. So I will come out of, I think we're done with that now, so I'm going to close that. I have Little Map open up here, which reminds me I need to take a screenshot of the proposed route. So I will do that now. If it will work, which it probably won't, because okay, let's move it over here. There you go. Quick screenshot there. That's basically what we're going to do. Southampton up here to Bristol, to the NDB. Trying to remember the name of the NDB. BRI, Bravo Roma India, and then across here to Cardiff. No air traffic control, keeping it simple, and weather doesn't seem too bad at all either, so we should be in for a relatively smooth flight. Okay, right, so here we are on the ground. So what we're going to do now is get the flight ready. So we'll start a new flight. And this is where I have to remember how to work it. So I want to go from here to Cardiff. So we have that one, but I've got to find one for my level. So let's have a look. I think see if we've got one. I'm not sure it's going to let me do it. I think I can do these ones. Lost it now. Where have you gone? Cardiff. I saw you there. There we go. No. I don't think it's going to let me do that one. Yeah, that's not one that I can fly. Okay, change of plan. Would have helped if I checked this before. I don't think there's a flight here that I can do in the Comanche. Just do another quick check. There isn't a... Oh. Here we go. Bingo. So we will use Gcoma. And max payload £909. Okay, here we go. So we've got 3 passengers over here. Current payload is 555, so and our max is 909. So we've got an opportunity to take some cargo. I tend to like to take something that's high value, and will fit in nicely with it. So what can we do? Try and earn the company some money. Let's go for that. Yeah. Bingo. Okay. So coming over to the fuel planner, this is a great little feature. This is telling us how much fuel that we need to have. It is a very short flight. So what's it saying here? We need to have £80 on board. So just popping back to here, what was my weight? 811. Okay, and fuel planner there. So what I'm now going to do is Go into the aircraft menu, wrong one, and I'm going to set up, where's it gone? Fuel on board 80. There we go. Just to be on the safe side, let's carry a little bit more. That feels a little bit light. 98 pounds, and we need to make our weight. What did we say? 811 pounds. And this might be the wrong way of doing it. But I tend to find that I'm going to put because it was quite heavy on the cargo. So what are we now? 820. What are we looking for? Come back. 811. So what I'm going to do is take a bit of weight off the pilot. If only, eh? There we go. So what I'm doing now is taking the payload down to 811. So that's kind of how I do it. I don't know if that's necessarily the right way, and the guys from AMA might have a different way of doing it. But that's how I do it. So my cargo is actually a bit heavier than that, but I'm getting the overall weight correct and trying to use the passengers to balance that out there. Okay, right. So and actually now we should see our passengers. There they are, all looking happy, ready for their flight. Okay, so we are now pretty much ready to go. We've done the fuel, we've checked that, we know where we're going. Just looking to see if there's anything else there that's quite useful. For some reason, yeah, weather doesn't seem to work for me for some reason. Okay. I think we are ready to go. What I will quickly do before we start that is I'm going to do a quick walk around. Get that set up. Okay, let's open. Get some air in here. This is the A2A Accusim Comanche, so if you sit in it for a while, then it will start to steam up a bit. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this for the time being. Okay, let's bring up the checklist. Pre-flight, we're going to do. We brief the passengers. Okay. I'm going to do the pre-flight now. I'm going to switch the master on, and I'm going to switch pitot heat on, just to warm up the pitot heat a little bit, so we can check that properly. It's not something I do very often. I probably need to leave it on a bit longer to get it nice and hot, but we will see how far we get with this. Fuel's looking good. Okay, let's pop out of there and let's go into the walk around. So, pop back in. Pretty sure at this stage you're meant to dump the flaps. There we go. Back out. That's looking good. All our connections are good. Checking with damage there. No, that's all good. Nothing in the tip tanks, that's fine. And so there's nothing to check. Landing light is good. Tie downs aren't in. We're going to get rid of the chocks, and the tyres looking good. Check the fuel in the right wing. It's okay. I'm not carrying much for this flight today. I know what I've done. Boom, there we go. Have a look at the fuel. Nothing dodgy in that. That's looking good. No birds nesting around here. Yeah, all's looking good. Check fuel, good. Under here, remove the chock, and again, everything's looking fine there. Stall warning is okay. Check the remove the pitot cover, and now have I left it on long enough? No, it's cold. Okay, I switched the master and the pitot off. I should have left them on. I don't know why I switched them off. Landing light. Let's do this properly. I want to show you. Let's switch that on. Pitot heat on. Then by magic we will pop out here. See if it's heated up yet. No. Let's come back to that. Landing light's good. Tip tank's empty. All our linkages are good there. All's good there. Check the status source. Ooh, static source, nothing in there. No tie downs. All our linkages are good there. That's looking good in there. And that's working fine. Okay, let's go back here and let's try. Oh, hot, working. Boom, fantastic. Okay. So everybody's in. We've done our walk around. I'm going to lock that, and what I'm going to do now is switch the recording method, so bear with me. Okay, so here we are inside. I have actually had to restart the flight. I had a technical issue after takeoff in the previous flight. My sim went bananas, so I've had to restart. Everything is pretty much the same, except I've got a slightly heavier, the same cargo load wasn't available to me. So I've got a slightly heavier cargo load, and we have got a higher revenue. So it's worked out better for the company anyway. But yeah, a bit frustrating, but that's what happens every now and again in the sim. So let's get going again. Okay, so we've done the pre-flight. We briefed the passengers. They've got their peanuts. They've got their Sunny D or whatever it is, Capri Sun, something like that. Seat belts, just checking that. Seat belts, shoulder harnesses are on. Flaps are up. Radios are off. Circuit breakers are all in. All electrical switches are off. Autopilot is off. Rotating beacon is now selected on. Carpeet is off. Fuel selectors, we will put both of those on. There we go. Where was I? Fuel selectors are on. Gear switch is, come on, down. There we go. Page 2, throttle cracked. Mixture fully rich. Prop is fully forward, fully fine. Master switch on. Check gear lights are green, which they are. Fuel pump on. Check pressure. There it goes. Fuel pump off. Engine prime. Let's give it 4 squirts. Leave that unlocked for the time being. Mags both on. Shout out the window, clear prop, and start. There we go, nice start. Oh, wrong thing. Lock the primer. Check our T's and P's, all pressure's good. Ammeter's good. Let's lean the mixture. Let's have the avionics on. Not using radios today, no ATC, but we will switch everything on. First thing I'm going to do is set our flight plan. Last time I tried this, it wouldn't actually let me put the NDB at Bristol in.
TOS system test OK.
So I'm going to put Bristol Airport in as a waypoint. There we go, and then we are going to Cardiff. It's our destination. I'm not going to worry too much about putting altitude on this one. And back to the map. Good. There we go. Weather is 1 notch from 82 degrees. So not a lot happening there. I'll take runway 02. Look around. How are we doing here? Just wait for things to heat up a bit. While we're here, we'll set the transponder. Let's check the weather. Active sky. Current active weather. I suppose 1025, same as it was before. Well, of course it is. That isn't going to change because we've got real world weather on. So let's dial that up. 1025. Okay, that's good. And our heading indicator is looks like it might be a little bit off. We'll have a look at that when we line up. I would expect that to be a little bit more over there. Okay. Right, let's select, our SAM-VOR is already selected. We're looking for the, let's have a look. I think it's the 299 radial really. 299. 299. It's all good. Watching the temperatures coming up. Oil pressure's good. Okay. Let's close that. Let's quick look around, just checking that. That's good. We're all running. Everyone happy in the back? Yes, good. Let's check the brakes. Yep, that's good. Okay, we'll taxi down to the runway and then we can do our run-ups. That's where the VOPs go. VIPs get collected with a big black SUV and then go off on a jet. I think my chaps are quite happy. They're not saying much, are they? Probably just as well. Right, while we're rolling, let's have nav on, and let's have... Oh, it doesn't have taxi lights. Okay, forgotten that. Really is great, this scenery. I've flown into Southampton a few times, and they've got this absolutely spot on. One thing I should say, because I am flying using this PIREP system, I can't really change views very smoothly. So there you go. Once we get in the air, I will see if we can get something a bit better. Nice morning. Okay, let's do our run up quickly. Okay, brakes I'm holding down, fuel quantity check, fuel selectors are where we want them, mixture is now fully rich, set throttle to 2000 RPM, check our instruments, no problems there, our temperature is into the green now. Okay, let's do a quick mag check. All good there. Let's do prop cycle 1. RPM drop. 2. Manifold pressure increase. And 1 more for luck. That's all good, happy with that. RPM drop with carb beat on there, so let's put that back in. There we go. Quick control check while we're at it. Yep, that's good. Trim tab is neutral, flaps are up, we're not going to be using them. And the door is latched. Right, let's get the old strobe light and the landing lights on, and we will go for our fuel pump, and let's go. Hang on in the back. Quick check to see nothing's coming in. Shouldn't be, because I've got no AI on. Okay, have a quick look around, just checking that heading. So yeah, something strange going on there. I can't remember how you adjust this, so I'm going to press, there we go, let's put it back on track. That's a note to myself, must learn how to adjust the HSI indicator. There's obviously something's not there. Ah, okay. It's that. Yeah, there we go. Forgotten about that. Right, let's go. gateway pulls to the left there. Not much of a crosswind, so must be coming from somewhere. Close the little window. How are we doing in the back? Some heat. So climb is 24 at 2.4, so we can just bring that back a little bit. There we go. We've reached 1,000 feet, so we can take the fuel pump off, landing lights off, and start our turn. Just going to intercept the SAM VOR radial, and that will send us on our merry way to Bristol. So you can see on the GTN I've got a VLOC rather than GPS selected. Happy in the back? Yeah. Just reset the TrackIR there, that was a bit... there you go. Just been caught out by the 2 switch then. So you have to select the gear in the Comanche twice, and I didn't. I selected it once, which meant that it wasn't up, and had I been doing it properly I would have looked down and seen that it was in fact still down. That catches me out, and it's another sign that I need to fly this aircraft more, need to keep current with it. It's one of the things you have to be really careful of actually, especially with Accusim aircraft like this, is you've got to keep current, because if you spend any time away from it, it will catch you out, like it just did with me. Last time I flew this was at the end of July, and it's now October the 22nd, so that's not good. I would imagine I'll probably get docked for that by the pirate system. So we've got a 4-knot crosswind from 208 at the moment. This is a lovely aircraft to fly. look around, everything's looking good. Just going to get rid of some of this height, get us down to 2000. Making some adjustments, getting ever so slightly blown off course a bit, not much. It's not a very strong wind, but it is pretty much a 90-degree crosswind, so that full component is working against us. Salisbury over there, just about to see the cathedral. A little bit. Interesting bit of buffeting there. So, everything's looking good. It's the cathedral over at Salisbury. Old Sarum Airfield in the front, and just over there to the right, Boscombe Down. So we've got good speed. Ground speed of 152 knots, that's not bad. Things I like about this, this is ORBX FTX EU England. You certainly get a feel for the seasons with the trees there. They are quite autumnal colours, and I quite like doing that. I tend to like to fly to the season in the sim, just to make it a little bit more realistic. Although every now and again it is nice to take it somewhere hot and sunny, just to remember what hot and sunny looks like. Okay, how are we looking? Good, happy with that. Not really leaning out at this altitude. Our EGT is good anyway. A look outside. See if I can rotate this around a bit without killing us. It's very difficult to fly and adjust the view as well. I do want to show you this aircraft. Okay, I'm going to have to have a quick fiddle with this. There we go. Just change some settings. Let's go back out. That's better. So this is a fantastic repaint. I don't know why the throttle increased there. I'm not touching the throttle. It's possibly just a position of the camera. Let's get back in and see what's going on. Here we can see Bristol coming up. So our choices at Cardiff are going to be 30 or 12. Pretty much what we're doing now. So we're going to have a 4-knot crosswind. I'll check the weather when we get there, but I think essentially we're going to be probably going straight in onto 30. Actually, something I will try and do now. Let's see if we can set the NDB 388. The frequency's right, which I'm not sure it is, because I've got that from NavMap, but hopefully at some point this ADF needle should ping right forward. Where are we? 27.4 nautical miles out. That we've got the wrong frequency, and I don't really want to switch to map mode in P3D while we're flying with the Pirate setup. But interesting that that wasn't in the GTN. I'm surprised at that, considering it's a major airport. I'm surprised that that isn't actually in the GTN. low cloud over there. Actually, no, I got that frequency from Sky Vector. Ah, Navmap is saying 414. Or sometimes with TrackIR it's a bit tricky. There, we had it then. Okay, still not. Oh, there he goes. Right, so ADF now pointing where it should do. So there you go. I took some notes from Sky Vector earlier on, and the frequency obviously differs between Sky Vector and P3D. So anyway, that's all set up nicely now. So we're still on our radial out of Southampton, 299 from Southampton, and we've now got our NDB showing that we are also showing that we're going in the right direction. I haven't got you lost yet. We're right in the back. They've gone. Must have been carrying parachutes. That over there is Frome. It's actually quite a nice area of the world, this. I was lucky enough to live in Bath for a year and a half or so, and it is a nice part of the world. A bit right of our radial here. Just make a bit of a course correction there. Wind is 4 knots, still coming from the same direction, so the wind is blowing us off slightly. Fuel is good. T's and P's are good. So when we get to Cardiff, let's get this set up now. Or rather, when we get to Cardiff, when we get to Bristol, I want to select the Cardiff NDB, which is 3885. 3885, okay. That's actually kind of already in there. Spooky. There's no option to put a decimal point in. We have some low cloud here. Might be about to go IMC. To the cloud now. Just a little bit of turbulence there. Some more heat in the back. This is where it gets interesting. We're now instrument flying, which is fine. We're all qualified for that. Oh, and we've just flown through it and out the other side. Wow. Isn't that lovely? Bath over there. Actually, Bath is behind us. There's Bath in that kind of valley. It does actually really does look like Bath. Now we've got Bristol on the nose. Gusty. It's a beautiful shape, Comanche. Concentrate on flying. So here we are, coming up to Bristol. A little bit low for this kind of thing. Sim freeze, do not crash. Phew, I hate it when it does that. Just going to climb a little bit. Goes back to 2,000 feet. So I'm visual with Bristol, so I'm quite happy now to switcheroo over here. ADF has pinged off. I'm going to turn on to heading a 275. I did want to avoid using the GPS, but I don't have much choice, because for some reason I can't set that ADF, or DME rather. Okay, let's have another quick look at the map and see if we can't get this to work. 388.5. Give us anything? No. Okay, well, we can kind of do what we did with the yeah, it's not really going to help us, is it? Well, we'll just have to do it this way. Everyone in the back? Yeah. Cool. Have another bag of Monster Munch. Anyone who doesn't live in the UK will not understand what Monster Munch is, but Google it. It's traditional English snackage. I say English, I mean British. Okay, let's get ourselves back down to 2,000 feet. Got a nifty little add-on running global AI ships, and we've got a nice ship out there. Got my ship settings relatively low, but it's just nice to see the odd realistic ship out there. Brings it to life a bit. Still nothing on the ADF. See if I can just tweak it a little bit. Yeah, nothing there. That might be the frequency on NavMap not matching the frequency in P3D, although I would be surprised. It's interestingly, on the nav map, it's giving 388.5, and I can't seem to see a way of putting that decimal 5 in there, and I'm not really used to this equipment, so I'm not entirely sure what to do with that. If you do, please do leave a comment below, because I'd love to know. It's probably in the manual. So yeah, this aircraft's only got 10 hours on it at the moment, just coming up to 11. I've had the Comanche for some time. I had it in FSX and then in P3D, and then I had a couple of major crashes where I've lost all my hours, but since at 10 hours I think is since February, so not a great deal really. UK Jim, I don't know if you've ever checked out his Twitch. You should do, because he flies the Comanche a lot, and he's actually just passed 300 hours, which is pretty incredible. I'm going to do is I'm going to put us up on the ILS, because the moment the crosswind isn't looking too bad, so this is a little bit unplanned. I don't know if it's going to work. So we want, yeah, we're going to take 30. See what happens. Yeah, that's connected. Cool, happy with that. Okay. Let's get everyone ready. HG4 rich. Level off about there. So water pipe is off, fuel pump on, fuel selectors, yes. Mixture is rich, fuel levels check, that's good. We're going to reduce speed down to 120. And gear down. Trim. It's better. Gear down. Lights on. Let's get some flap. Let's get rid of that. Checking that I don't get caught out again. It's going to hurt a lot more getting caught out coming down than it was going up, that's for sure. So we're below the glide path here, we've come in low, so I'm just gently, not flying level, but just a gentle descent, just to bring us in line with it to intercept. Slight crosswind, but not much. We've actually got more of a 7-knot tailwind, which isn't great. I'd rather be flying
500.
Let's trim a bit more. Okay, and welcome to Cardiff. Okay, everyone happy in the back? Yes. Let's get the flaps up. Just getting the map up so I can see where we can come off, because it's a bit confusing with these tufts of grass here. Right, flaps are up. Coming up to taxiway here. That's it, folks. Let's lean on for ground. We're going to park next to the 747, give them a thrill. This is ORBX Cardiff that comes with the ORBX FTX EU Wales scenery. Trying to give you an outside view. That's better. Okay, so why don't we just park in front of the BA hangar? Let's pretend that AMA has just flown some BA pilots over to Cardiff. Okay, right. Let's get the parking brake on. That's good. Let's get the landing lights off, strobe off. Should have done that when we vacated the runway. Fuel pump off. Leave the beacon on. Let's give it a little bit of throttle just to clear the baffles. Avionics off. And beacon off. Master switch off, and then we have a quick look over here, and we have finished our flight. And what does it say? We delivered everything that we were meant to. Cargo total. Everything was fine there. Oh, excellent. Okay. I'll live with that. So the penalty bonus description says a very soft landing, made your passengers happy. So I got a bonus of 3.5. I haven't got any penalties, so my pilot rating for that flight was 103.5. I think I've had higher than that in the past, but considering I left the gear up for longer than I should have done, I will go with it. So there you go. That is a little air taxi flight with AMA. As I say, check out their website. If you haven't done virtual airlines before and you fancy having a dabble, and certainly you like the idea of getting in with GA, this is a great place to start. And you've got a good selection of quality aircraft or repaints. You've got to buy the aircraft, obviously. And yeah, It is great fun. I can recommend it. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon.